The cafeteria buzzed with the low hum of executives and employees alike, all dressed in sharp suits, flashing polished smiles, and talking numbers like second nature. Emma had only been with Hawthorne Industries for 4 days, and already she felt like she didn't belong. A fresh graduate from a small community college, she had landed the internship through a local mentorship program, thanks to her long nights at the diner job and her stubborn refusal to let her past dictate her future. She clutched her tray, eyes scanning the crowded dining hall for an empty seat, any seat. Her chest tightened as eyes darted her way and then moved on, not cruelly, but with that indifference that stung more than direct rejection. She looked down at her plain white blouse, a little wrinkled from the rush that morning, and sighed. This place felt like another planet. And then she saw it. A round table, mostly empty, except for a few half-drunk glasses of sparkling water and the scent of something expensive in the air. No one was seated yet, so she assumed it was fair game. Nervously, she walked over and sat down, keeping her gaze low. She didn't notice the gold placard that read, "Reserved, Executive Board," until it was too late. By the time she had taken a bite of her sandwich, people were gathering. Not just people, the kind of people who wore watches that cost more than her entire education. Her stomach dropped. Panic rose in her throat. She was about to grab her tray and flee when a voice behind her chuckled softly, "Don't worry. You're already here. Might as well eat." She looked up into warm, amused eyes. A man, maybe late 40s, wore a crisp white shirt, sleeves rolled up, tie loose, like someone who wasn't afraid to do real work. He looked vaguely familiar, though she couldn't place him. She offered an awkward smile and whispered, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, I didn't realize." The man waved a hand. "It's fine. Happens all the time. Except it didn't. Not here." More executives joined, throwing her curious glances, some polite, some less so. The man sat beside her, leaned in slightly, and asked, "New intern?" She nodded. "Emma. 4th floor. Marketing." "Well, welcome to the jungle, Emma," he said with a grin. She couldn't help but laugh a little, the tension easing. But then someone at the table leaned over and whispered something to him. His expression shifted just a touch, a flicker of surprise, then humor. "Interesting," he murmured. Emma tried not to overthink it. But then she started talking. Nervously, too fast, like a leaky faucet of frustration. "Honestly, this place is kind of... I don't know. Cold. People don't talk to each other. No one smiles. I passed this man in the elevator yesterday, he just looked straight through me like I didn't exist. I mean, I get it, I'm an intern, but we're all human, right?" The man's brow lifted slightly. What did he look like? She bit her lip. "I probably shouldn't say. He might be someone important." He leaned back, smirking. "Come on. I won't tell." Tall. Gray suit. Looked like he walked out of a stock photo. Eyes like steel. Super serious. The man burst out laughing, trying and failing to cover it with a cough. Others at the table tried to look away, but a few smiled knowingly. Emma frowned in confusion. "I take it you know him?" she asked cautiously. The man extended a hand. "Adam Hawthorne. CEO." Her soul nearly left her body. Every muscle in her froze. Her fork clattered to her plate. The table fell silent. Adam, however, seemed completely at ease, chuckling softly to himself, sipping water like nothing had happened. Emma stammered an apology, face burning red, unable to meet his eyes. I didn't know. I swear. I thought you were just, I never." "Relax, Emma," Adam said kindly. "I appreciate honesty. Even when it stings." Later that day, she tried to hide, bury herself in tasks, stay invisible. But the damage was done. Or so she thought. A few hours later, a message pinged her inbox, "Meet me on the rooftop garden." A.H. She thought about ignoring it. Thought about quitting altogether. But something about Adam's tone, his warmth, made her curious. When she stepped out onto the rooftop, she found him tending to a small herb garden. He handed her a sprig of mint. "This place gets lonely," he said. "Even for the guy at the top." Emma didn't know what to say. "I built this company from a single warehouse. Slept in my car some nights. Ate ramen for months. And now that I'm here, it's not what I imagined." She finally met his gaze. "So why keep doing it?" Adam looked out over the city. "Because I believe we can build something better. But I need people who aren't afraid to speak the truth. Even when it's messy. Even when it's uncomfortable." She nodded slowly, understanding dawning. Over the next few weeks, something remarkable happened. Emma wasn't just an intern anymore. Adam invited her to strategy meetings, asked her opinion during creative reviews, let her shadow marketing directors. Some scoffed. Some whispered that she must be related to someone powerful. But Adam shut that down quickly. "She earned it," he'd say. "She reminded me why I started this." One day, during a quarterly town hall, Adam told the story of the lunch table. Everyone laughed. Emma wanted to crawl into the floor. But then he said something that changed her life. "She told me I had eyes like steel," he said, smiling. "Maybe that's true. But ever since that lunch, I've been learning to see again. Through her eyes. Through all of yours." The applause was thunderous. Emma felt tears sting her eyes. Months later, when her internship ended, Adam handed her an envelope. Inside was a job offer. Full-time. Executive trainee program. Her dream. But more than that. A handwritten note that said, "Thank you for waking me up." Years down the line, Emma would stand on that same rooftop, now director of marketing, watching new interns nervously eat lunch in the same cafeteria. She'd sit beside one, hand them a sprig of mint, and say, "This place can be cold. But you're the reason it can be warm." Because kindness wasn't just about helping those who had nothing. Sometimes it was about seeing the invisible. About listening. About being brave enough to speak, even when your voice trembles. Emma had walked into that building thinking she was a nobody, but by being unapologetically human, she had changed the heart of a man who had everything. So if you ever feel small, unwanted, or unheard, remember Emma. Remember her courage, her awkward honesty, her resilience. And remember, sometimes the most powerful voice in the room is the one that dares to speak when no one else will. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of the power of one small act of honesty, then please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Kindness Diaries, because the world needs more people like you. Kindness begins with a whisper, and ends with a ripple that changes everything.